the other. So basically, what I forgot to tell you, this goes on till we checked all our skills and our resources, or if the game tells us a bit dead. Okay, 1 and 4. So 1 minus 4 is 3, so we get 3 back. With that, we are then on problem 3, which is a loved one discovers your condition and works to help you. Create a research which represents their assistance. Create a more character if none are available. Well, hello. I think I know who helps to work us out there. Andrew, my dear. The question is, what can he do? Versus. But there it is. It's also the last experience in the memory. After a fateful night where Andrew came too close to me and I was not able to resist tasting his blood. My secret has been outed. He says not to worry and that he maybe, I mean, now we have kind of established that you need to drink vampire blood in order to become a vampire, and that you can survive feeding. In our story, maybe he becomes our food source. Maybe not the main, but one of the food sources. Yeah. He says not to worry and that he would let me drink from him whenever needed. Experience 3. After a faithful night when Andrew came too close to me, I was not able to resist tasting his blood. My secret was out. I said not to worry and that he would let me drink from him whenever needed. So let's write the prompt first. Okay. I had not been careful enough. I should have stayed away when I realized how the hunger was greater than I thought. But the walks with Andrew had been nice, and there was little I would not give for distraction from the constant ache I felt in me. So we went on a walk. He pulled me close as the night got colder and his throat was right there, not even covered by any of the clothing. It was just too easy to slightly push him in a dark alleyway and sink my teeth into his skin. When I realized what happened to me, I swore to myself to never hurt the ones close to me. And now, knowing that I was incapable of even keeping such a small principle, it had shattered me. I reacted well. Too well. I don't know if I had been more shocked about myself or about him. He tried to calm me down when he noticed how I started to panic, hold me close till my breath was calm again. Then he said whenever I had trouble finding food, I could just come to him. That he was strong and sturdy, that he didn't mind and had strange bug bites all over himself, so the holes of my teeth would not even be noticeable. I doubt that his blood will be enough, but it is more than I could ever ask for from someone. My heart aches, even thinking about having to do that to someone I truly start to love. We gain A research represent their assistant. A resource. Which resource would represent someone you can drink from? A slip of paper that lets me enter the stables at any point. Because he works at the stables and we're always allowed to get him. So he gives us like a slip of paper and there's like, oh, I know someone in this stable. And then most of the times they slept in the stable as well, right? Like on the beds or something. So yeah, that's the resource I get from this experience. So there, now it's going to be interesting because memory 3 is full. Let's see where it will get us now. 10 minus 1, that's 9. 9 plus 3 is 12, isn't it? Yeah, 12. New laws or social mores makes it harder for you to hide among the populace. Hire your nearly caught and destroyed. Check a skill, create a more criminal who assists you. Okay. Which laws had been invented in Britain around 1900? A new monarch. Land law. Anglo-Saxon law. Maybe search more events. We work with someone from the Catholic Church, and we work for nobles. Maybe we don't take like new laws. No, how are you nearly caught and destroyed? Witch hunting. Was that must be a thing at this point. Britain history, witch hunting. Oh no. Between oh, but okay, we have the church having their own things, right? It's like church obviously is a big thing. Common law comes later. So the church is the thing. Law of the church in Britain. Okay, I said we're gonna be a bit loosey-goosey, right? So from what I read is that church has a big thing where they decide on their own what happens. Church. I know that the church was seriously able to hurt you. But what we could also make, so new laws or social mores make it harder for you to hide among the populace. Are you nearly caught and destroyed? Was what happened to in England in but that's not early modern England. Apparently there was not that much of a problem. So we don't have to murder anyone. What is if we get caught for assault? And then we have to flee. Så nyeste situation har det man the populace so you need to just check a skill, create a skill. Create a more criminal who assists you. Okay. Mortal criminal who assists me. Where are my mortals? He's just called Betchu. The leader of a small gang of thieves. Check his skill, right? Check his skill. And we know him. See that once was living with me in the orphanage. Skill having connections with other former orphans. Ah, no. Come on. Which experience? Ernesto. Oh yeah, because it's vampirism. So it's gonna be some murders made people of the common folk create a night watch which patrolled around all houses and made sure that nothing happened. Too bad. With them more and more people being part of this endeavor. Was only it was only not moment of time, matter of time, I think. Sorry, I have to get onto my another knee. Okay, it was only a matter of time till they find me feeding on one of the drunken. Thinking I was molesting him and was about to take his money, they started chasing me. Betcha one of the boys I grew up with, now going under the name of Betcha, found me and took me to the small abandoned house he and his gang lived in. I was allowed to stay. Okie dokie. I think that's good. Some murders made people of the common folk create a night watch, which patrolled around all houses and made sure that nothing happened. With more and more people being part of the endeavor, it was only a matter of time till they found me feeding on one of the drunken. Thinking I was molesting him and was about to take his money, they started chasing me. One of the boys I grew up with, now going under the name of Betcha, found me and took me to a small abandoned house he and his gang lived in. I was allowed to stay. I think that's good. We also create a skill. Let me first write and then we're gonna... Okay. At some point, no one is gonna believe you if you say that it is not what it looks like. Too bad that this had happened to me in such an awful position. I knew of the night watch. They had been a pain in my ass when I am allowed to write that down so bluntly. Just because someone started to kill some others off and the guards are not capable enough to find them does not mean they can barge into any scene they want, proclaiming they bring judgment when all they do is making it harder to go outside. Anyway, when they saw me groping the man outside of the tavern, all speaking of just wanting to bring him home or helping him was not heard out. Instead, I was accused of being one of the whores and stealing a good man's money. As if a good man is one who drinks till he is no longer able to tell left and right apart. Anyway, there was no way for me to stay, given how even if I had not taken the man's money, I had taken something else, and I was not about to be there when the night watch found out what exactly. So I started to run. But it seems that around 10 men had an easier time moving around the streets than a woman in a dress, who desperately tried to keep her face hidden. I felt them come closer in a desperate attempt. I dug into an alley, which had been a fatal mistake. Hearing screams of blood and monsters, I stood in front of a wall, separating me from the freedom I would soon lose if I did not get into running soon. Sending silent prayers, I started to climb. If anyone ever did to get up a wall with a petticoat, they can probably imagine how I must have looked like. Screams of victory startled me as they found the alley I ducked into. Hearing their footstep, I almost gave up, Before a hand grabbed my arm and I was pulled onto the wall. Looking up, I saw some familiar eyes with amusement. The boy, now more so a man, signaled me to run, and with his help we were able to get away from the crowd of maniacs talking about the devil himself. My savior turned out to now go by the name of Betche, so will not mention his name given by birth, but we grew up together. I knew him from climbing up the roof and stealing cookies for everyone from the bakery. One day he just disappeared. Now he told me how he was thrown out and made it his sovereign mission to find all people who society has left behind and create the greatest gang of thieves of all times. He talks big and his dreams seems even bigger as he pulled me towards an abandoned home which seemed to be burned down at some point. But inside were beds and buckets with some food. People of all ages hung around, and they all seemed to be happy as Betcher presented me as the new goods he was able to snatch under the night watch's hands. I was assigned a mattress and was allowed to stay as long as I needed. To be honest, for the first time in a really long one, I feel like happiness really is contagious. And we get a skill. Create a skill. What skill do we create? We create one of the thieves. I have some background information of how thieves in this area work. I think that's a good one. I think with that we're gonna close it up for today. I think we got quite a few things in.